High in the rugged Sierra Madre mountain range, under the cover of darkness and mist, lay a secret stronghold unlike any other. From the outside, the area looked deserted. Clusters of rotting wooden houses, broken livestock pens, and crumbling walls giving the impression of abandonment. But deep beneath the rock, hidden tunnels stretched like veins through the mountain, leading to a heavily fortified command hub. For years, this place had been considered untouchable, a fortress protected by layers of stone, steel, and secrecy. Guarded day and night, equipped with surveillance cameras and motion sensors, it seemed invincible to any conventional assault. Those inside believed that their stronghold was beyond the reach of any authority. The first signs of suspicion. That illusion began to unravel when satellites orbiting far above Earth picked up faint traces of unusual activity. Heat signatures glowed faintly under the rocky terrain, far too consistent to be natural. Trucks, heavily camouflaged, appeared only under the cover of night and vanished without leaving a trace. Analysts noticed that these vehicles stopped near an abandoned granary and then disappeared, as if the ground itself had swallowed them. To intelligence specialists, this was not just strange. It was proof that something was happening deep inside the Sierra Madre. With each new piece of evidence, the stronghold's invisibility began to fade. Intelligence breakthrough. Working closely together, American intelligence agencies and Mexican Naval Command began piecing the puzzle together. High-resolution satellite imagery revealed the outlines of underground ventilation shafts. Synthetic aperture radar painted a clearer picture, showing voids beneath the surface where the tunnels had been dug. Intercepted reports suggested that the site was not just a hideout. It was a central hub of operations, filled with communication rooms, secure storage facilities, and escape tunnels that stretched all the way toward the Pacific coast. With growing urgency, a warning emerged. Within 72 hours, a massive shipment would move across the border, threatening to destabilize communities far beyond Mexico. Time was running out. The briefing room in San Diego on June 15th, 2 days before the strike. A secure briefing room at the U.S. Naval Base in San Diego was filled with military officers, intelligence analysts, and representatives from both the United States and Mexico. On the screen, satellite images zoomed in on the mountain range, red circles highlighting entry points and weak spots. The room was tense, filled with the weight of what was at stake. Strong coffee sat untouched as officers leaned over maps and digital simulations. No one questioned the urgency. The challenge was clear: how to strike at the heart of the mountain without risking the lives of soldiers in a suicidal ground assault. Evaluating the options. Every possible plan was placed on the table. A direct raid was the first to be considered, but quickly dismissed. The terrain was hostile, riddled with mine tunnels and heavy gun emplacements. Any ground assault would almost certainly result in devastating casualties. A conventional airstrike was the second idea, but engineers and strategists quickly showed why that would not work. The reinforced structure beneath the mountain would absorb most of the explosive energy, leaving the underground hub largely intact. That left only one option: something capable of reaching deep into the earth itself and collapsing the fortress from within. The B-2 Spirit and Silent Dagger. The decision was made. The B-2 Spirit stealth bomber would be deployed from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. It would carry America's most advanced, deep-penetrating precision weapons, designed specifically to destroy hardened underground targets. The mission was given the code name Operation Silent Dagger. The objectives were straightforward, yet monumental: neutralize the underground facility, ensure that no critical intelligence survived, and send a message across borders that nowhere was safe for those who operated in the shadows. It would be the first joint operation of its kind, a seamless coordination between two nations, determined to strike silently and decisively. Preparing for the mission. While planners refined the strategy, technicians at Whiteman Air Force Base meticulously inspected every inch of the B-2 Spirit. Its black, bat-like silhouette was built to evade radar, slip through the night sky unseen, and deliver its payload with surgical accuracy. Pilots with years of experience in long-range stealth missions studied every detail of the terrain. Meteorologists analyzed minute-by-minute weather data. Intelligence teams built 3D simulations of the mountain tunnels, identifying structural weak points where a strike would trigger a cascading collapse. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, and the countdown had quietly begun. A long flight over darkness. In the early hours of June 17th, while the mountain lay silent under a thin veil of fog, the B-2 Spirit soared high above the Gulf of Mexico. Its engines emitted little more than a whisper, invisible to radar, silent to the world below. In the cockpit, two pilots remained focused on their glowing displays, guiding the aircraft through a secret corridor of approved airspace. Thousands of feet below, pine trees swayed in the night wind, their silence hiding the fortress beneath. No one inside the mountain had any idea that a storm was already on its way. The moment of release. At precisely 3:47 a.m., the command came through the pilots' headsets. Weapons free! The bomber's bay doors opened, and two advanced precision weapons slipped silently into the night. They cut through the air at supersonic speeds, invisible shadows that streaked toward the mountain. There were no alarms, no flashing lights, no time to react. Within seconds, the weapons pierced through layers of rock and reinforced concrete, drilling deep into the mountain's core. For a brief moment, silence returned. Then the earth itself seemed to exhale. The mountain collapses. A low tremor rippled through the Sierra Madre as shockwaves tore through the tunnels. Support beams snapped like twigs, walls buckled, and chambers caved in on themselves. Surveillance footage captured by drones showed the main entrance bulge outward before collapsing in a roar of dust and debris. Ventilation shafts exploded in plumes of white powder, then vanished as the mountain sealed itself shut. No fireball lit the sky, only the heavy silence of destruction. Within 12 seconds, the stronghold that once seemed untouchable had been reduced to rubble deep underground. Confirmation from the sea. Far off the coast of Baja California, aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson monitored the strike in real time. Underwater seismic sensors recorded a magnitude 3.8 tremor at the coordinates. In command centers in Washington, Mexico City, and San Diego, screens flashed the words, "Target neutralized." No one cheered. No one celebrated. The room stayed silent, each officer understanding the magnitude of what had just been accomplished. A fortress that had taken years to build had been eliminated in less than a minute, securing the area. But the mission was not over. As dust and smoke lingered in the air, Mexican special forces moved in aboard Black Hawk helicopters, landing on ridgelines above the collapsed site. Their orders were clear: secure the perimeter, search for survivors, and collect any evidence that remained. They descended into a landscape coated in gray dust, where pine trees stood like silent witnesses. Every sensor, every guard post, every escape tunnel had been obliterated. For the first time in years, the mountain was truly silent. An unexpected development. Just as the operation seemed complete, a satellite detected faint heat signatures moving westward from the rubble. 8 figures were seen navigating the rough terrain with deliberate, coordinated steps. Analysts quickly determined these were not animals, but human survivors, likely elite guards attempting to escape. Within minutes, their position was relayed to naval forces waiting offshore. 2 fighter jets were scrambled, guided by drone surveillance. Precision strikes ensured that no escape route remained open. The operation had entered its final stage, the final blow. As the group moved through a narrow valley, the fighter jets descended silently from above. Guided by laser targeting, 2 precision bombs were released. The explosions were clean and contained, leaving nothing but silence in their wake. Drones confirmed that no heat signatures remained. With that, the last threat from the mountain was gone. Mexican special forces swept the surrounding slopes, discovering caches of equipment and chemicals which were secured for destruction. Over secure channels, commanders confirmed the operation was complete, a new kind of victory. By dawn, Operation Silent Dagger had achieved every one of its objectives. The stronghold was destroyed, survivors were neutralized, and no soldiers had been lost. It was a new kind of victory, one achieved not through prolonged battles or massive invasions, but through precision, stealth, and cooperation. The message was unmistakable. No matter how deep someone burrowed into the earth, technology, intelligence, and unity could still reach them. The message, to the world beyond the tactical success, the strike carried a symbolic weight. It showed that 2 nations could act together decisively against a common threat. It proved that technology and intelligence, when fused with political will, could achieve in seconds what years of traditional warfare might fail to accomplish. For those who relied on secrecy and shadows, the message was chilling. The shadows are no longer safe. Lessons of Operation Silent Dagger. The lessons of the operation extend far beyond the mountains. It underscored the importance of investing in intelligence gathering, precision weaponry, and strong partnerships between allies. It proved that wars do not always need to be fought with endless battles and heavy casualties. Sometimes, a single decisive strike can change the course of events, saving lives while delivering a powerful deterrent. It also demonstrated the power of modern technology, satellites, AI analysis, stealth bombers, and precision munitions all working in harmony to achieve an outcome once thought impossible. A silent battlefield. When the helicopters finally lifted away from the Sierra Madre, the landscape below looked peaceful, almost ordinary. But beneath the dust and shattered rock lay the remnants of a fortress that had once symbolized defiance. In its place remained only silence, a silence that spoke louder than any explosion. The mountain would never again serve as a shield for those who believed they could escape accountability. The echo of Silent's operation. Silent Dagger will be remembered not only for its precision and success, but for the way it redefined what modern warfare can look like. A battle that ended without gunfire, without soldiers storming barricades, without prolonged destruction. A strike that arrived like a whisper, tore through stone, and vanished into silence. For those who planned it, it was proof that patience, intelligence, and precision could accomplish what brute force could not. For those who witnessed it, it was a reminder that no matter how dark or deep the hiding place, there is always a way to bring light. Conclusion. Operation Silent Dagger will stand as a turning point in the evolution of warfare, a moment when the old paradigms of prolonged campaigns and heavy losses gave way to a new era defined by precision, intelligence, and collaboration. This was not just a tactical achievement, it was a demonstration of what modern capabilities can accomplish when united by shared purpose and strategic foresight. The operation's success was measured not in body counts or captured territory, but in its ability to neutralize a formidable threat without unnecessary destruction or sacrifice. The implications stretch far beyond the mountains of the Sierra Madre. Silent Dagger illustrated that in an age of rapid technological advancement, warfare can be reimagined to prioritize efficiency, accuracy, and human life. Satellites, artificial intelligence, stealth aircraft, and precision munitions converged to create a force that operated in near silence, yet achieved results that reverberated across the globe. For adversaries who once found safety in secrecy, the message was unequivocal. There are no longer sanctuaries in the shadows. Equally significant was the spirit of unity between nations. In a world often fractured by competing interests, this operation showcased what is possible when allies align their intelligence, resources, and resolve. It set a precedent for future collaborations, proving that shared security goals can overcome geopolitical divides. Ultimately, Operation Silent Dagger was more than a mission. It was a vision of the future. It reminded the world that strength does not always roar. Sometimes it moves in silence, strikes with precision, and leaves behind not chaos, but clarity. In the stillness that followed, one truth emerged. Modern warfare is no longer about who fights the longest, but who thinks the smartest. And in that sense, Silent Dagger was not just a victory, it was a revelation.